Tony T here from Tony'sPicks.com with our college football pick show. It's week 5, part 1. We're going to get to 20 games here. Most we'll cover will be the noon to about 3:30 Eastern time games. We'll cover most there with this one. We're going to do this one in parts. Before we get underway, if you're looking for my best bets, my premium plays, click the link in the description over to my sales page at Tony'sPicks.com. And for more free pick videos, be sure to subscribe to our channel. If you appreciate our work, give us a like, a thumbs up on this video. We really appreciate it. All right, let's go ahead. Let's get this one started. Northern Illinois here and NC State college football pick. This one here on Saturday here at noon Eastern time. All right, we're getting you the play here for you. In this one, Northern Illinois fell to 2-1 after their 23-20 home overtime defeat to Buffalo. The Huskies gained 364 yards, 165 rushing for 3.9 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 184 yards to the Bulls with 107 passing on 17 attempts. Ethan Hampton hit 23 of 43 passes for 194 yards with a pick. NC State drops to 2-2 after their 59-35 defeat to Clemson. The Wolfpack put up 430 yards, 183 rushing, 4.8 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 523 yards to the Tigers with 269 rushing for about 8 yards a carry. Grayson McCall missed the game due to an injury. C.J. Bailey, 16 of 25 passing for 204 yards with a touchdown and pick. Illinois does have a road win at Notre Dame. The Huskies are defending well, holding opponents to 3.1 yards per run and only 6.1 yards per pass attempt. They are efficient offensively, 5.2 yards a carry on the ground, 8.5 yards per pass attempt. NC State really is struggling run defense, giving up nearly 6 yards a carry in the passing game, allowing 247 yards per game, 7.4 yards per pass attempt. McCall's injury is a concern. NIU is 8-1 of the spread as a road underdog. NC State 3-7 as a home favorite. Play Northern Illinois +7. Maryland and Indiana college football pick. This one here on Saturday. Maryland improved to 3-1 with their 38-20 home win to FCS Villanova. 2 weeks ago, it was a 27-13 road win at Virginia. The Terrapins gained 391 yards, 128 rushing for 3.5 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 360 yards to the Cavs with 247 passing on 37 attempts. Billy Edwards, 28 of 43 passing for 263 yards with 2 touchdowns. Indiana sits at 4-0. A 52-14 home win to Charlotte. Hoosiers put up 510 yards, 222 rushing for 5.5 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 256 yards to the 49ers with 119 passing on 23 attempts. British Work goes 16-20 for 258 yards with a touchdown. Indiana getting balanced to their offense. They rush for 5.7 yards a carry and complete 72% of their passes for 11 yards per pass attempt. They are effective here in run and pass defense. Maryland's loss came at home to Michigan State. The Terrapins rushed for only 4.3 yards a carry, allowing 247 yards passing for 7 yards per pass attempt. Play will be on Indiana -7. Buffalo and UConn college football pick. This one Saturday. Buffalo moves to 3-1 after their 23-20 road overtime win at Northern Illinois. The Bulls produced 184 yards, 77 rushing for 2.1 yards a carry. On defense, they held the Huskies to 359 yards, 165 rushing for 3.9 yards a carry. O.J. Ogbonna, 10 of 17 passing for 107 yards with a touchdown. UConn 2-2 after their 48-14 home win to FAU. The Huskies put up 542 yards, 421 rushing for 6.4 yards a carry. On defense, they held the Owls to 250 yards, 87 passing on 16 attempts. Nick Evers, 9 of 14 passing for 88 yards and a touchdown. He rushed for 78 yards and 2 touchdowns. Buffalo deals with issues offensively as they run for only 3.5 yards a carry. And they've been inaccurate at the quarterback position. Connecticut getting great production on the ground. Huskies were competitive at Duke 2 weeks ago in a 26-21 road loss. They are 9-4 of the spread in their past 13 home games and 2-0 of the spread at home, facing teams that average 310 yards per game or lower. Play UConn -5.5. Western Kentucky and Boston college football pick Saturday. Western Kentucky improved to 3-1 after their 26-21 home win to Toledo. Hilltoppers posted 313 yards, 71 rushing for 3.3 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 325 yards to the Rockets with 200 passing yards on 33 attempts. Caden Valkamp, 20 of 30 passing for 242 yards with a touchdown and 2 picks. Boston College 3-1 after their 23-19 home win to Michigan State. Eagles posted 292 yards, 152 rushing for 3.5 yards a carry. Defensively, BC allowed 368 yards to the Spartans with 241 passing yards on 35 attempts. Thomas Castellanos completed 10 of 16 passes for 140 yards and a touchdown. WKU got good performance from their passing game with 68% completions and 8.1 yards per pass attempt. WKU has covered 5 of their past 6 games and 11 of 17 on the road. Boston College 1-6 of the spread as a home favorite, play Western Kentucky plus 13. Nebraska and Purdue college football pick Saturday. Nebraska fell to 3-1 after their 31-24 home overtime defeat to Illinois. The Cornhuskers put up 345 yards, just 48 rushing for under 2 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 281 yards to the final line with 166 rushing yards for 4.2 yards a carry. Dylan Raiola, 24 of 35 passing, 297 yards for 3 touchdowns and a pick. Purdue drops a 1-2, a 38-21 road defeat at Oregon State. Boilermakers gained 319 yards, 263 rushing for 8.7 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 445 yards to the Beavers with 341 rushing for 6 yards a carry. Hudson Card just 7 of 17 passing for 56 yards with a touchdown and pick. Purdue getting poor quarterback play in their losses to FBS opponents. Card just hitting 44%, 4.4 yards per pass attempt. Nebraska has defended well, holding opponents to 3 yards per rush, 6.2 yards per pass attempt. Purdue's pass defenders limited foes to 61% completion rate, 6.9 yards per pass attempt. Play will be on Nebraska and Purdue under 49. Kentucky and Ole Miss college football pick Saturday. Kentucky 2-2 after a 41-6 home win to Ohio. The Wildcats gained 488 yards, 206 rushing for 5 yards a carry. On defense, they held the Bobcats at 223 yards, 110 passing on 19 attempts. Brock Vandegrift, 17 of 24 passes for 237 yards. Ole Miss 4-0, a 52-13 home win at Georgia Southern. The Rebels had 607 yards, 219 rushing for 6.1 yards a carry. Offensively, the Rebels allowed 295 yards to the Eagles with 157 passing on 33 attempts. Jackson Dart, 22 of 31 passing for 382 yards with 4 touchdowns and a pick. Ole Miss getting it done on both sides of the field. They're rushing for 6.3 yards a carry and getting accurate and efficient quarterback play from experienced Dart here. On defense, they're allowing 1.2 yards per rush, only 5.5 yards per pass attempt. Kentucky's rushing here for only 4.3 yards a carry and have issues with accuracy at the quarterback position. Wildcats are 0-2 the spread as a road underdog of plus 10.5 to plus 21. Ole Miss 6-2 the spread at home in September games. Play Ole Miss minus 17. Oklahoma State and Kansas State college football pick. This one here on Saturday. Oklahoma State fell to 3-1, a 22-19 home loss to Utah. The Cowboys gained 285 yards, 48 rushing for 3.1 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 456 yards to the Utes with 249 rushing for 4.8 yards a carry. Ellen Bowman, 16 of 33 passing for 206 yards with 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. Kansas State drops to 3-1, a 38-9 road defeat to BYU. Wildcats posted 367 yards, 228 rushing for 5.3 yards a carry. Defensively, they held the Cougars to 241 yards, 92 of it rushing for under 4 yards a carry. Avery Johnson, 15 of 28 passing for 130 yards and 2 picks. Kansas State defense has been good this season. They're holding opponents at 2.8 yards per rush. They held Arizona to 7 points at home. Avery Johnson efficiency at quarterback the concern. They are a good running team, so expect high volume rushes here. Oklahoma State struggles to run and allowing 4.5 yards to carry to opponents. Wildcats 4-1 in the under at home as a favorite of 7 points or fewer. Play Oklahoma State and Kansas State under 56. South Florida and Tulane college football pick. Here we go for Saturday. USF drops a 2-2, a 50-15 home defeat to Miami. The Bulls gained 365 yards, 62 rushing for nearly 2 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 592 yards to the Hurricanes with 404 passing yards on 34 attempts. Byron Brown, 19-30 passing for 254 yards. Tulane now 2-2 after a 41-33 road win at Louisiana. The Green Wave posted 355 yards, 272 rushing for 5.8 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 471 yards to the Raging Cajuns with 183 rushing for 6.8 yards a carry. Darian Mensah, 11-17 passing for 83 yards and a touchdown. USF is getting poor quarterback play with inaccuracy and inefficiency. The team defends and run effectively with 3.7 yards per rush allowed. Tulane runs at high volume, average of 39 per game, and effective at 5 yards a carry. The Green Wave allows only 6.3 yards per pass attempt. Tulane 10-6 in the under as a home favorite. Play USF and Tulane under 64.5. Navy and UAB college football pick Saturday. Navy 3-0 after their 56-44 home win to Memphis. The midshipmen produced 566 yards, 361 rushing for 9.3 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed the Tigers 559 yards, 659 yards with 385 passing on 57 attempts. Blake Horvath, 9-12 passing for 192 yards with 2 touchdowns. He rushed for 211 yards and 4 touchdowns. UAB 1-2, a 37-27 road defeat at Arkansas. The Blazers produced 354 yards, 119 rushing for 3.5 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 427 yards to the Razorbacks with 266 rushing yards for 7 yards a carry. Jacob Zeno, 23-32 passing for 235 yards and 3 touchdowns and a pick. Zeno is an experienced quarterback. The Blazers completing 70% of their passes and defending the pass effectively. Navy giving up 4.7 yards a carry. They're giving up 289 yards passing the game. Play UAB plus 3.5. BYU and Baylor college football pick Saturday. BYU improved to 4-0, a 38-9 home win to Kansas State. The Cougars gained only 241 yards, 92 of it rushing for under 4 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 367 yards to the Wildcats with only 139 passing on 29 attempts. Jake Rethloff, 15-21 passing for 149 yards and 2 touchdowns. Baylor fell to 2-2, a 38-31 road defeat in overtime at Colorado. The Bears posted 314 yards, 166 rushing for 4 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 432 yards to the Buffs with 341 passing on 41 attempps. Daquan Finn missed the game due to injury and is questionable here. Sawyer Robertson, 11-21 passing for 148 yards with 2 touchdowns. First road test for the Cougars here. The running game is producing only 4 yards a carry. Baylor's getting big plays downfield in the passing game, 8.5 yards per pass attempt on the year. On defense, the Bears are holding opponents to 3.3 yards per rush, only 53% completion rate, 6.5 yards per pass attempt. BYU 3-5. The spread is the road underdog. Baylor 4-0 at home to the spread, coming off a road loss. Play Baylor minus 3.5. Minnesota and Michigan college football pick Saturday. Minnesota fell to 2-2, a 31-14 home defeat to Iowa. The Golden Gophers put up only 288 yards, 79 rushing for under 4 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 334 yards to the Hawkeyes with 272 rushing for 6 yards a carry. Max Brosmer, 22 of 37 passing for 209 yards and 2 touchdowns. And 2 picks. Michigan moves to 3-1, a 27-24 home win to USC. The Wolverines put up 322 yards, 290 rushing for 6.3 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 379 yards to the Trojans with 283 passing on 52 attempts. Alex Orji, 7 of 12 passing for 32 yards. Minnesota getting really poor run production. This was once a really strong running team. They're just averaging 3.8 yards a carry. They were held to 14 points at home to Iowa, 17 at home to North Carolina, all resulting in losses. The Wolverines are running the football well, 5.6 yards a carry, defensively holding teams at 3.1 yards per run, 5.9 yards per pass attempt. Minnesota 3-7 of the spread on the road. Brosmer's performance against FBS opponents not encouraging. Play here Michigan minus 9. Ball State and James Madison college football pick Saturday. Ball State fell to 1-2, a 37-34 road defeat at Central Michigan. Cardinals gained 431 yards, 146 rushing for 3.9 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 523 yards to the Chippewas, 335 rushing for 10 yards a carry. Caden Simonza, 30 of 40 passing for 285 yards with 3 touchdowns. James Madison improved to 3-0, a 70-50 road win at North Carolina. The Dukes gained 611 yards, 223 rushing for 5.7 yards a carry. On defense, they surrendered 616 yards to the Tar Heels, 475 passing on 48 attempts. Alonzo Barnett, 22 of 34 passing for 388 yards, 5 touchdowns. Ball State's defense, the major concern here, they're giving up 7.5 yards a carry on the ground. Opposing quarterbacks completing 69% of their passes for 10.3 yards per pass attempt. The Cardinals are running for only 3.4 yards a carry, have inefficient passing game that averages 5.9 yards per pass attempt. Duke's offense put up 5.2 yards per run, 10 yards per pass attempt. Ball State allowed 34 points at home to an FCS team in Missouri State. They fell 62-0 at Miami. Play James Madison here at minus 20.5. Texas State and Sam Houston State college football pick Saturday. Game played neutral field NRG Stadium, home of the Houston Texans. Texas State fell to 2-1 after their 31-28 home defeat to Arizona State. Bobcats posted 400 yards, 132 of it rushing for over 4 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 347 yards to the Sun Devils with 246 passing on 30 attempts. Jordan McLeod, 29 of 44 passing for 268 yards with 4 touchdowns and a pick. Sam Houston 3-1 after a 31-11 home win to New Mexico State. The Bearcats put up 382 yards, 280 rushing for 5.1 yards a carry. On defense, they held the Aggies to 152 yards, 74 of it passing on 29 attempts. Hunter Watson, 9-21 passing for 64 yards and 2 picks. He rushed for 116 yards and 2 touchdowns. Sam Houston getting efficient work in their passing game, 7.2 yards per pass attempt. They're running for 4.4 yards a carry, and that's going to help the mobile quarterback in Watson. Pass defense for the Bearcats has been good by holding opposing quarterbacks at 57% completion rate, 5.5 yards per pass attempt. Lots of stats were put up by Texas State against Lamar and UTSA. Play Sam Houston State here plus 8.5. Eastern Michigan and Kent college football pick Saturday. Eastern Michigan 3-1 after the 36-0 home win to FCS St. Francis, Pennsylvania. Now, 2 weeks ago, it was a 37-34 home overtime win to Jacksonville State. Eagles posted 447 yards, 152 rushing for under 3 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 423 yards to the Gamecocks, 311 passing on 34 attempts. Cole Snyder, 26 of 37 passing for 273 yards and 2 touchdowns. Kent 0-4, a 56-0 road defeat at Penn State. Golden Flashes put up 66 yards, 18 passing yards on 13 attempts. Defensively, they allowed 718 yards to the Lions with 49 passing yards on 31 attempts. Tommy Ulatowski, 0 of 6 passing in defeat. He was a 4th stringer after injuries to their 3 other quarterbacks put him in the starting role. This was a massive rebuild season for the Golden Flashes. We knew this coming in. Now relegated to their 4th-string quarterback under center. The Eagles just blew out an FCS team. They're capable here of a blowout win. EMU defends to run well. Efficient quarterback play. Kent rushes for only 1.7 yards a carry. Defensively giving up 6.3 yards per run, 10 yards per pass attempt. Play Eastern Michigan minus 14.5. Liberty and Appalachian State college football pick Saturday. Liberty 4-0 after their 35-24 home win to East Carolina. The Flames gained 414 yards, 191 rushing for 4.2 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 331 yards to the Pirates with 204 passing on 36 attempts. Kane Salter, 19-32 passing for 223 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a pick. App State drops a 2-2, a 48-14 home defeat to South Alabama. Mountaineers put up 385 yards, 119 rushing for 4.3 yards a carry. On defense, they gave up 474 yards to the Jaguars, 320 rushing for 7.4 yards per carry. Joe Aguilar, 21-40 passing for 266 yards with a touchdown and pick. Liberty has played a weak schedule. App State is passing for 307 yards a game with 7.5 yards per pass attempt. On the road, the Flames got past the down New Mexico State by only 6 points and gave up 24 points in the process. Play App State plus 3.5. Georgia Southern and Georgia State college football pick Saturday. Georgia Southern fell to 2-2, a 52-13 road defeat at Ole Miss. The Eagles put up 195 yards, 38 of it rushing on 37 carries. On defense, they allowed 607 yards to the Rebels with 388 passing on 33 attempts. J.C. French here, 20 of 28 passing for 109 yards with a pick. Georgia State now 2-1, a 36-32 home win to Vanderbilt. The Panthers gained 426 yards, 157 rushing for 4.6 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 380 yards to the Commodores, 270 passing on 33 attempts. Christian Velu, 26 of 41 passing for 269 yards with 3 touchdowns and a pick. Georgia State's been very poor in defending the pass, giving up 65% completions, 9 yards per pass attempt. They've not been efficient offensively in the passing game, just 6.3 yards per attempt. Eagles were competitive at Boise State, where they put up 45 points in defeat. Panthers 5-8 to the spread at home. Play Georgia Southern plus 3.5. San Diego State and Central Michigan college football pick Saturday. San Diego State fell to 1-2, a 31-10 road defeat at Cal. The Aztecs gained only 276 yards, 110 rushing for 3.1 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 473 yards to the Golden Bears, 275 yards rushing for 6.5 yards a carry. Danny O'Neal, a knee injury. He's questionable in this one. Javance Tapata Johnson went against Cal, went 13 of 29 passing for 156 yards with a touchdown and pick. Central Michigan improved to 2-2, a 37-34 home win to Ball State. Chippewas put up 527 yards, 335 rushing for 10 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 431 yards to the Cardinals, 285 passing on 40 attempts. Joe Labas, 14 of 20 passing for 185 yards and touchdown. Quarterback situation for the Aztecs is a concern. San Diego State runs for only 3.1 yards a carry and gave inaccurate play at quarterback, along with only 5.5 yards per pass step. San Diego State defense is allowing 6.5 yards per rush, 72% completions. Central Michigan's offense is running for 5.9 yards a carry and has an efficient passing game with 7.6 yards per pass attempt. Play will be on Central Michigan here, -3. Louisiana and Wake Forest college football pick Saturday. Louisiana fell to 2-1 after a 41-33 home defeat to Tulane. The Raging Cajuns gained 421 yards, 183 rushing for 6.8 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 355 yards to the Green Wave with 272 rushing yards for 5.8 yards a carry. Ben Wooldridge, 19-34 passing for 238 yards with 2 touchdowns and 2 picks. Wake Forest drops to 1-2 after their 40-6 home defeat to Ole Miss. Demon Deacons posted 311 yards, 46 rushing for 1.4 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 649 yards to the Rebels, 377 passing yards on 34 attempts. Hank Bachmeier, 22 of 39 passing for 239 yards. Louisiana has defended well, holding a post at 4.6 yards a carry, only 5.9 yards per pass step. Wake Forest has struggled running the football, 3.8 yards a carry. They hold a post at 4.6 yards per rush. Demon Deacons 5-2, the under at home in the non-conference. Play here will be on Louisiana and Wake Forest under 60.5. Akron and Ohio college football pick Saturday. Akron 1-3 after their 50-7 road defeat at South Carolina. The Zips gained only 154 yards, 37 rushing, 1.8 yards per rush. On defense, they allowed 549 yards to the Gamecocks with 276 passing yards on 27 attempts. Ben Finley, 14 of 27 passing for 110 yards with a touchdown and a pick. Ohio moves to 2-2, a 41-6 road defeat at Kentucky. Bobcats posted 223 yards, 113 rushing for 3.5 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 488 yards to the Wildcats, 282 passing on 27 attempts. Parker Navarro questionable here with that wrist injury. Nick Polis, 8 of 19 passing for 110 yards and a pick. The Zips offense very poor. They're running for 2.6 yards a carry, averaging only 5.6 yards per pass attempt. On defense, allowing over 5 yards a carry on the ground, along with 8 yards per pass attempt. Ohio getting better production both ends of the field. Defensively, they hold teams to 3.1 yards a carry on the ground, just 5.4 yards per pass attempt. They are getting accurate and efficient quarterback play. Play here will be on Ohio, minus 12. UMass and Miami, Ohio college football pick. This one Saturday. UMass 1-3 after a 35-31 home win to Central Connecticut State, an FCS school. 2 weeks ago was a 34-3 road defeat at Buffalo. Huskies gained in that game 193 yards, 72 rushing for nearly 2 yards per rush. On defense, they allowed 314 yards to the Bulls, 184 passing on 22 attempts. Taizan Fominacha 20 of 30 passing for 287 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. Miami, Ohio 0-3 after their 28-3 road defeat at Notre Dame. Redhawks gained 229 yards, 110 rushing for 4 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 428 yards to the Fighting Irish, 270 rushing for 7.5 yards a carry. Brett Gabbert, 14 of 35 passing for 119 yards and 2 picks. Miami's a rebuilding team, except in the quarterback position. They were hit hard by the transfer portal. The Redhawks are rushing for only 2.5 yards a carry, passing for 6.3 yards per pass attempt. Miami here, Ohio, giving up 6.5 yards per rush. The Minutemen defense holds opponents at 3.6 yards a carry, allowing only 51% completion rate. Player in this one will be on UMass, plus 18. If you're looking for my best bets, my premium plays, click the link in the description to my sales page over at tonyspicks.com. For more free pick videos, be sure to subscribe to our channel. And if you appreciate our work, give us a like, a thumbs up on this video. It really helps our channel. I'm Tony T. We'll talk with you later.